Hi, I'm attorney Ben Schwartz. Today we're going to continue with our series of videos on hit and run accidents. If you have watched any of the prior videos on hit and run accidents or phantom vehicle cases, you know that one of the things that we do in my office is handle car accident cases where our client's involved in the accident and the at-fault driver flees the scene. We see these cases where our client is the driver of a vehicle or a passenger in a vehicle. We see cases where our client is a pedestrian or a bicyclist who's struck by a vehicle or run off the road by a vehicle, and then that at-fault driver flees the scene, never to be caught, never to be identified. And that is a hit-and-run case or a phantom vehicle case. And also, if you've been watching these vehicles, you know that there is something you can do to still recover compensation for your personal injuries after one of these types of accidents. If the at-fault driver is never identified and there's no one to sue, instead of suing the at-fault driver, you go to your own insurance company or the insurance company that provided the auto insurance on the vehicle you were occupying at the time of the accident, and you make a claim for uninsured motorist benefits, UM benefits. In some states called UMBI, uninsured motorist bodily injury benefits, and the UM insurance pays you whatever you would have obtained from the at-fault driver's insurance company if you had been able to identify the at-fault driver. So the question that we're going to answer today is a question that we have been asked several times about these types of accidents, and that is simply, what do I do if I'm injured in a hit-and-run accident? And so I think the first thing you ought to do is try to get as much information as you reasonably can while you're there at the scene of the accident. If you can take a mental snapshot of what the vehicle was, what color was the vehicle, what make and model was it, if you can get the tag number, get the tag number. If you can only get a partial tag number, get what you can, write it down if possible. If you have a pen and paper in the car, if you have a cell phone in the car, you can write yourself a note or dictate yourself a note with whatever information you can get relating to the at-fault driver or the at-fault driver's vehicle. You should call the police. You should call 911 if you're injured in an accident. Even if the accident was caused by a driver that fled the scene, you should call 911 because the police will respond and they will attempt to identify the driver that fled. It's illegal in all states, as far as I'm aware. It's illegal to flee the scene of an accident where there's property damage or where there's personal injury. And so the police will want to investigate not only the accident, but the actual fleeing from the scene, because that in itself is a crime as well. You want to report your accident to your own insurance company. Your own insurance company may end up being responsible for paying you uninsured motorist benefits if no one can ever identify who the at-fault driver was. And so in that situation, you want to notify your insurance company that the accident happened, that they may have liability. You want to do that as soon as possible, because your own insurance company also will be able to investigate the accident to try and identify who the at-fault driver was. It's in their best interest to do that, and so you ought to give them the opportunity to do that. And then finally, I think that if you've been injured in a hit-and-run accident, or you've been injured as a result of a phantom vehicle accident, you should hire an attorney in the jurisdiction where the accident happened, or in the jurisdiction where you purchased your automobile insurance coverage, and find an attorney who handles auto accident cases, but who specifically handles uninsured motorist bodily injury liability cases, because the laws vary from state to state. The laws may be technical as to what you need to do to make a valid UM claim. The time limits vary from state to state on how long you have to make a UM claim. And you need to find someone who does this for a living, who's done it over and over, and who knows what they're doing and can help you. So there's my thoughts on what you should do if you have a hit and run accident, if you are the victim involved in a hit and run accident. I'm attorney Ben Schwartz. Hope you found this video informative, useful, helpful, entertaining, educational. If you have more questions about hit and run accidents, about car accidents, about personal injury cases, let me know. You can give us a comment on our Facebook page, facebook.com/SchwartzandSchwartz. You can also send me an email. My email address is ben.schwartz@schwartzandschwartz.com.